Hello everyone and welcome to another Star Wars figure review. As we continue to take a look at some Black Series 6-inch figures, we're going to take a look at a really cool one today, and it's perhaps one of my favourite Black Series 6-inch figures for quite some time. There's been a lot of controversy surrounding this particular figure and the scale in which she's been sculpted, but for me personally it's not an issue, it's an awesome figure and I'm really impressed with this one. It is of course none other than Princess Leia in Boushh Bounty Hunter disguise. Now this particular figure is of course based on Leia's appearance in Return of the Jedi, in which she disguises herself as the bounty hunter Boushh and attempts to rescue Han Solo from the clutches of Jabba the Hutt. Now what's really interesting to point out is that we've actually received two brand new figures of Princess Leia in Boushh disguise. We've got this new 6-inch version, and there's also an accompanying 3 3/4 inch version available in the sister line to the Black Series 6-inch range. So hopefully I'll be able to give you a look at that figure in a few reviews time. But for now we're going to take a look at this absolutely stunning 6-inch figure, and let me tell you, I am really impressed with this one. So before we get into why that is, let's take a look at the packaging that she comes in. And once again we have the very cool presentation box design for the Black Series 6-inch range. At the top there we have a very cool image of Princess Leia with the Boushh helmet in place, and on the reverse side we've got a still image taken from the movie which shows Leia in conversation with Bib Fortuna. Now Hasbro, if you're watching, make this figure. We need a 6-inch Bib Fortuna to go with Jabba, and that definitely would make a really cool figure in my opinion. So there we go, that is the packaging in which Princess Leia comes in. Now let's take a look at the figure itself. Now as I said at the beginning of the review, there's been a little bit of controversy and angst amongst the collecting community in terms of the scale in which this figure has been sculpted. If any of you guys out there currently own the Slave Leia figure from the Black Series 6-inch line, then you'll notice that this particular figure is considerably bigger. Now a lot of people were kicking off saying, oh, that's an absolute travesty, it shouldn't be this size, it shouldn't be bigger than the Slave Leia. But for me personally it's not a major issue, because personally the more plastic the better, and you've got to bear in mind with this particular figure Leia's wearing clothing, so she's going to look a little bit bulkier and have a little bit more to her, and in my opinion Hasbro have just done so much better than expected with this figure. I'm really happy with it. So the scale for me personally is no issue at all. Obviously she's sculpted really well, and she's got all the appropriate accessories in place as well, so we'll run through those in just a bit. But first up we will run through the articulation. Now obviously, as come to be expected from the Black Series 6-inch line, we do have a ball joint and a hinge at the neck. The helmet is removable, I'll give you a look at that in just a little bit. We also have ball hinges at the shoulders and elbows, hinges at the wrists, a ball joint I believe at the torso. In fact, yes we do, just there, just underneath the armor plating we do get a ball joint. We also get ball hinges at the hips, which again sadly due to this plastic piece does hinder a little bit of the articulation. We get swivels once again at the thigh, a double joint at the knee and a double joint at the ankle. So premium articulation, really what we've come to expect from the 6-inch line, and yeah, just an absolutely awesome looking figure. Now in terms of accessories, Princess Leia really does come with quite a few. Obviously the first one is the rather large staff, which I'm using. She runs around and electrocutes people with. It looks sort of like a cattle prod. And also you've got the thermal detonator clipped to the back. Now this can be removed and placed in Leia's hand, although unfortunately there is no peg on the thermal detonator and there's no hole in Leia's hand, so it doesn't stay in there securely. It just kind of balances and it will fall out, if you even attempt to pick this figure up while the thermal detonator is in place. So I do find it better to clip it to the belt, and I'm really glad that Hasbro gave us that option. We also get a removable backpack, which as you can see has some Galactic Basic, I'm assuming, written on the side there. Again, fantastic sculpt work going on. And obviously on that belt there you've got all the ammo pouches and utensils and things like that going off. We've also got the ammo strap that reaches over the shoulder, again with some fantastic sculpted detail. And she does have a soft goods cape, which is made of a really thick material, really sturdy, and it looks really cool in place like that. Now obviously the main accessory that this particular figure comes with is of course the removable helmet. Now the helmet itself is a really nice sculpt, in my opinion pretty much 100% accurate to the one seen in the film, and obviously it's removable, so underneath we do get a look at Princess Leia's human portrait, and it's not a bad likeness. She does look a little bit stern and a little bit concerned, but you know, if your boyfriend was wrapped up in carbonite for 2 or 3 years, I'm sure you'd look like this as well. So no major issues there. It's a reasonable likeness to Carrie Fisher, not 100% accurate, but enough to suffice. So really no issues there. The helmet itself, as I said, is a great sculpt, and it's a really nice fit as well. It just slots over the head like so. It's really tight, it's not going anywhere, and it looks great once it's on the figure. As you can see, there's a decent bit of weathering on there as well. You've got some silver scuffs just under the visor, just on the top there as well. It's really nicely detailed, really nicely sculpted, and all in all, a fantastic figure. In my opinion, definitely the best version of Leia in Boushh disguise that we've seen in any scale, and a highly recommended figure. Like with IG-88 that I gave you a look at in my previous review, this is perhaps one of my favourite Black Series 6-inch figures so far, just because the value for money aspect is so evident. You know, there's so much plastic going on, there's so many accessories, there's a great sculpt, great paint jobs. It's just an awesome figure, and I couldn't recommend it enough. So again, check out the link in the video description if you want to purchase this figure for yourself. As always, that will take you to staractionfigures.co.uk, and you can get this figure for yourself from there. So what are you waiting for? Add it to your collection. It's a highly recommended figure, and very cool indeed. So I hope you enjoyed having a look at Princess Leia in Boushh disguise from the Black Series 6-inch line. And I've saved the best for last, because we are going to take a look at a very popular clone commander in my next Black Series 6-inch review. So stay tuned for that, and until next time, as always, I want to thank you for watching this review. Keep collecting, and until next time, may the Force be with you.